Broadsword calling Danny boy.
Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Got something really cool for you here today. This is from Soul 487 Curiosity. I was sent a link for this particular image by a guy called Inner Tubes, one of my followers on YouTube. Many thanks to him for this. You've really helped me out here. Found something really cool apart from what you pointed out, as you will find out in a minute. First of all, we're going to take a look at this little guy here, behind that large rock there. Now, this other thing on the right here looks very much like a spear to me. In fact, I'm about 100% sure it is a spear. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind whatsoever about that. We'll come back to that in a second. The little guy here, now when you zoom in a bit closer, you'll see that this may well be a carved humanoid head. It could be an actual humanoid. When we get a bit closer here, you'll be able to make your own mind up about that. Very grungy, this massive image, as many of them are. This is quite a recent one. They're getting worse and worse. They really are bad. Now here's the spear. Now I've been thinking about this all night. This spear. I mean, it's so clear, and we will get a closer look at that in a second. You'll be amazed. And this blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. This thing. One of the best finds ever on Mars, I think. And very, very convincing. But first, a closer look at this guy. Now, even on the untreated image that we have here, you can actually see eyelashes. Now that's real detail there. Now I've drawn around him very, very carefully there, and then enhanced the contrast. Bit of Gaussian blur on there to get rid of some of this grungy puke filter that they put on everything. There we go. Now look at his eyes. He's got the nose on the right there, with his lips sort of protruding bit just below that. He's even got an eyelash sticking out there, which I very carefully drew around. It's not an image artifact, as far as I can tell. It's actually on there. This is a very interesting anomaly. This one. He's got something strange on his head. Now I can't work out where he's wearing a sort of hat or something, and that's a reflection. That sort of white area. Or whether it could actually be some sort of growth on his head. It could be a bit of fungus or something like that. The other sort of dead alien specimens I've found on Mars some of them seem to have stuff growing on them. Now, there's not much water up there, so maybe these plants grow on corpses. It does happen on our planet. So why not on Mars? So that may be some kind of sort of fungi growing on the head of this guy here, drawing out what moisture is left from his head. I mean, who knows? Right, here we go. Now this is by far one of my favourite finds of recent months, I think. I was very excited when I found this, and I thought, wow, that's a spear. I thought straight away, without any hesitation, this is a spear. Anyone who thinks it's a rock is delusional. There it is, a negative, just to show it. Now, I thought this was a bit unfortunate. I thought, oh no, the spear goes off the end of the image. It's right on the edge of the image. But luckily, I went back to the NASA page and found it was in the next image along from that first image. Much relieved about that. There's the link to it. So this is the one you want to download, really, if you want to see the object in its entirety. There it is. So we weren't actually missing very much of the spear on the previous image, because it's not a throwing spear. This is not the sort of spear you would throw. There's also something to the right of the object, a couple of things on the ground there. A little bit vague there, we can't really make out what they are. They may or may not be related to the spear. Here we are. There's a sort of triangular shaped object. That may be a little shield or something, who knows. The object on the left there. The object on the right may be a bit of maybe a belt or some kind of scabbard, or too blurry to tell. It's a funny angle, but you can see symmetry there. There's two parallel lines there. It could be related. Often these things lying near each other are not related at all on Mars. There's so much junk lying around. Hard to tell, but you do have to look at the other things in the local area just to work out if they're parts of the same puzzle. It can be difficult with Mars. I mean, it's a bit like doing a jigsaw puzzle without knowing what the actual picture is sometimes. You're piecing together bits of evidence which may be unrelated. So, but everything should be looked at in the area when you find something like this, just in case. I mean, I thought this part here on the top right there was actually part of the spear, but if you look at the overall brightness of the object, it's much brighter. It could be a sword, who knows. It may be a bone, it may be just nothing, maybe just a rock. But this is the whole spear. It looks to me like there's a hook on the far right side of it. This was often the case with weapons. They often had a loop or something on the end, which you'd have a sort of leather thong or something going through, which would go around your wrist. You could then spin the thing around and do some crazy sort of moves with it in combat. I mean, look at this thing. What else can it possibly be? This is the sort of spear used for close combat, as more like you could use it like a sword, or you could use it like a short sword even. You could hack away with it. You could jab with it. You could stab with it like a short gladius sword. It's a kind of hybrid sort of tool, really. This one. I mean, what else could it possibly be? There seems to be two bolts on it there. There's two rather black sort of circular parts. One looks like it's joining the blade to the handle, and there's another black bit there. That may not be a bolt, I don't know, but there's another one at the other end. So this may be joining it to the handle, and the blade's just kind of bolted on there. Here it appears in the third image even. This is the other camera. This is the one that takes the panoramic shots. Very poor quality, this one. But as you will see in a second, it still shows the same object. So it actually appears so far in about 3 images. There we go. There we go. Right between those two large rocks there. Right in between them. What can I say? I mean, it may even appear in other image sets from the Curiosity. Often these sets overlap each other. The Curiosity moves extremely slowly, and you can look at the previous or later sets and often see the same object again. So this may well appear in a dozen different photographs. Haven't looked at them all yet, don't know. But there's at least 3 or 4 so far. Now, when I was drawing around the object, I started drawing around it with the freehand selection tool. Started on the right end of the butt end of the spear, as you want to call it that, and drew along the bottom very carefully. And when I got to the top, I accidentally let go, and it drew a straight line. Now, that straight line happened to be absolutely perfect, so I sort of accidentally got a perfectly straight line across the top there. I didn't need to use the ruler, because that did it for me. This thing is about as straight as you can get along the top. Obviously the blade's a bit curved there, but the top edge of this image, this spear, is absolutely perfectly straight. I mean, when I say perfectly straight, I mean perfectly straight. Try it. Download the image yourself, get a ruler, put it along the top of the thing, and you'll see. Another close-up of this guy, just to remind ourselves what else was shown in the video. I really do think this is one of the best finds ever on Mars. It may seem a tad boring to some people, but to me, this is just awesome. Found lots of other tools and 1 or 2 other weapons as well. Found a sword. The sword was kind of half buried, but you can see the handle on it. Check my other videos for that one on my website, and YouTube, you'll be able to see I found quite a few similar things on Mars. Found some warrior helmets and bits of armor, and all sorts of similar things. Tools, a shovel, a spoon, some, you know, eating implements even. I mean, what the hell's that all about? So this isn't a one-off. Anyone who says that this is a rock, seriously, you really need to take yourself to one side, take yourself into the toilet, stick your head down the toilet, and flush the goddamn toilet. I'm fed up with a lot of these idiots coming on my YouTube channel, spamming it up, saying, "Oh, it's just a rock, man. It's just a fucking rock." Sorry about the French there. You know, I mean, for God's sake, this is not a rock. You know, this ain't no rock. Get over it. You know, anyone who says this is a rock, who comes on my website or YouTube channel, will be banned. As simple as that. I've had enough of this bullshit from twats coming on my frickin' site saying this stuff. It's obviously not a rock. Rocks aren't like that, okay? Anyone who says that is a twat, and that's it. Many thanks to InnerTubes again for the link you sent me. Great stuff. If you, any of you out there have some interesting stuff that you'd like to see on a YouTube video, anything like this, then send me a link and I'll give it a go. As long as it's reasonably large and clear. I don't want some little speck of dust in the distance that's too hard to pull out. I try and work in HD, so we're trying to up the sort of game here when it comes to quality of imagery. Sorry about my little rant there, but I've been trolled pretty badly recently. Many thanks everybody for watching, especially if you stuck all the way through that. Big thanks to all my subscribers. You're awesome guys. I've got over 1,200 of you now, and going up by the day. And things are looking pretty good on YouTube now. Channel's doing well. Got some of my stuff on what'supinthesky37.com, so you can check his site out there. Will over there. Get well soon, Will. I hope your back's okay. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll sign off now. This is Joe, ArtAlienTV. See you soon.